Okay, so let's talk relationship tip and wisdom. Very important, y'all. Okay, so the first thing, there's two of you. There's the man, there's the woman. All right. Um, the first thing, are you saved? You know, is your partner saved and are you saved? If not, God doesn't have anything to do with that relationship because y'all don't belong to God. If you're not saved, you're not His. Plain and simple. So He's not in it. Neither did He join it. He doesn't join anything together that's not in His hands. So, first of all, the only relationships that God puts together is a relationship between a husband and a wife, a man and a woman. Not a woman and a woman, not a man and a man. God is not in that. He's against same-sex marriage, okay? Now, that may be offensive for many of you who are into that sort of thing and who do that. And this is not to belittle, but the word is the word. God's not in that. He doesn't have anything to do with that. He will actually judge that, and that judgment is dangerous. But we do want to love all people, regardless of their decision or their choice. If they choose same-sex marriage, do not treat them any different than you would a believer or a Christian, just like you shouldn't treat anybody who's of the world any different just because they're not saved. But it is important to know that God is not involved in that. So if you're a man and you're praying for God to send you a husband, you're wasting your time. If you're a woman and you're praying for God to give you a wife, you're wasting your time. He's not in that. That's not how He created it, and that's not what He gets involved in. He's against it, and they're actually in danger of judgment for making that decision. So it's very serious. But the Lord destroyed an entire city over that. So that's how He feels about it. Not how I feel about it. That's how He feels about it. That's what His word says. So first of all, it has to be a union between a man and a woman. And the other thing is they must be believers. Because just because it's a man and a woman, that doesn't mean God's putting that together neither. So, you know, it has to be two believers by which the man is able to lead her for the simple fact that she's subject and submissive to him and respects that man to give him his rightful place in order to allow him to lead. If you look in the Garden of Eden, when Eve was deceived by the serpent, if you read that passage of scripture closely, you will find that Adam was actually standing right there. The Bible said that Adam was standing with her while the serpent deceived Eve. So what happened is the man gave the charge to the woman and let her make the final decisions. The woman is not supposed to do that. The man is. So the woman is not to lead the house. The man is. The woman is supposed to come into the order that the man has set in that house, and she's supposed to support that order. but all the final decisions need to come through him. If a woman is being pulled to the side and spoken to by another man, and that other man is trying to conduct business with her apart from her husband's knowledge, these things are totally out of order. And no, God is not blessing you because he doesn't work and operate in that way. When it comes to a marriage, if there's anything that's going to go on with that woman, it all needs to go through that man. Her husband needs to know about what she's doing, where she's going, her decisions. It's his job to watch her. So if you have a problem with somebody watching you as a woman, you have a problem with a man watching you, and you have a problem with letting him know what you're doing, then you don't need to be married, because it's his place to do that. He's supposed to do that. He's supposed to ask you, who's this, who's that? He's supposed to look over you. He's supposed to protect you. He's supposed to tell you don't deal with that one. He's supposed to tell you get off the phone with that one. He's supposed to tell you block that number. He's supposed to tell you there's no reason for you to be connected with your ex. Y'all don't have children anymore. Y'all don't have children together, or your children are grown. His place is the head. So that's what the head does. He's supposed to be kind of like a watcher over her soul. Now, the woman is the weaker vessel, so she's easily deceived. She's deceived easier than the man. That's why the devil came to her to tempt Eve, and he didn't come to Adam with that. He came to Eve with that. But it was failure on Adam's end by allowing the serpent to talk to her. He should have cut that right there, and told him, hey, no, you don't talk to her, you talk to me, because he was standing present. But he allowed the serpent to speak to her and to tempt her to eat of the tree of which God said not to. And yes, she did know, because she actually told the serpent that the Lord said that we are not to eat from this tree, that the day that we eat of it, we will die. So Eve knew not to eat from the tree, but because she's the weaker vessel, the serpent, being wise and more cunning than any other beast of the field, knew that, and he was able to come to her and deceive her, even though she knew what God had said. So that's the problem. That's why the man is put in position to watch over that woman, even when she has a word from God, because even when she has a word from God, she could still be deceived, just like Eve. Eve talking to the serpent and saying, God said not to eat from this tree. The day that we eat of it, we will surely die. And the serpent talking her out of it and saying, oh, no, you won't surely die. You're just going to be like the Most High. He's sitting there reasoning with her about the word. Eve is sitting there talking about the word, which came from God. So she had a word from God. She didn't know. Adam must have told her. Somehow she got the knowledge that she wasn't supposed to eat from that tree. But above what God said, the serpent was able to deceive her and make her do something else outside of that. And she heeded the serpent's voice instead of the voice of God. But again, part of the reason why is because the woman is created as the weaker vessel, and she needs the man in position to lead her. Now, I know that in today's society, it has been taught, and it's so common, that a woman doesn't need a man to lead, that she can lead, that she can do it all. Well, you're just going to find yourself going into more and more deception if you think you can do it all. You can't. There's some weakness in you. You've been created that way. And there's nothing that you can do to change that creation, that femininity. That's there. No matter how mannish you try to act or how strong you try to act, there's going to be some femininity there and some weakness there. And even your mind is hooked up scientifically different, which can be proven by science. The woman's mind is actually connected different than the man. There are two terminals in the brain, a left terminal and a right terminal. And the woman's terminal picks up more process information. It holds longer conversations. It has more words. It processes more information. The man's is more direct, more straight to the point. You ask a man how was his day, he'll just tell you fine, straight to the point. You ask a woman how was her day, she'll go into a bunch of details, giving you all the process, giving you a bunch of information, because before she even gets to the detail, to the final say of it, because the mind is hooked up different. So we're not even connected the same, based on the way our brains function. The man's brain functions different than the woman's brain. So there's nothing that you can do to change that. That is like that. You've been created that way. So because of that, there's a part of you that does need a covering. Women need to be covered. They shouldn't just be running wild and doing whatever they want to do and no covering. You know, that's how you end up getting entrapped by the deceptions of the devil. Running stuff by yourself and doing everything by yourself, conducting everything by yourself, and not looking up to anyone that you have to give an account to, and nobody's watching you, and that sort of thing. That's not good for a woman. So God sends the man into her life as a covering as well. So he's there to cover her. That's why it's important that she knows and understands what his role is, because his role is to lead, and that's how he does it. He does it by God giving him the direct info. I'm talking, when I'm saying this, I'm talking about a woman of God and a man of God. Because sometimes a woman of God, she thinks because she can hear from God that she don't need that man. And that that she can just go over him and deal with God direct. No, that's not how that works, because even if she is a woman of God, even if she got the anointing, even if she speaks in tongues, even if she's full of the Holy Ghost, still, God still put that man to work through the order of the man being the head, to lead her. So it doesn't matter how deep she is, the man is still the head, and he's still there to lead her. So God is not going to cross over the head, not deal with him, and then deal with his wife and have her doing stuff, and the man don't know nothing about it. That's not God's order. His order is to always deal with the head first, and then he passes that information down to that woman. Now, he may have dealt with the woman on something that the head is getting ready to say, and it'll be confirmation. But there will never be a time where God is giving that woman something to do or somewhere to go, and it didn't come through the head. Nope, that's the devil. Only he goes around the head and deals with the woman and comes through the back door in order to try to conduct business or to try to do whatever. So that's not his will. So the first thing, as a woman, if you're expecting a husband, you're expecting God to send you a husband, then you need to know what he would be sent for and what his position is all about. If you don't know anything about his position and you just have your own understanding of what you think that is, then God's not going to send him to you. You're going to keep getting men on your own, for the simple fact that you don't understand the reason why he's sent. And God's not going to send you a man of God to lead you if you don't understand that he's there to lead, that he's there to help take you to the next level, that he's there to show you stuff that you don't know, and cover you in certain ways. If you're not able to understand that that's his position, then you can't be prepared for him. And if you're not prepared for him, then God's not going to send him. It'll be all in the flesh. It'll be you connecting it yourself through dating sites or whatever, or some man found you attractive and gave you his number, you gave him yours, and y'all connected that way. God don't have nothing to do with it if you don't understand the position of the man. Now, when you understand the position of the man, you understand that he is like a watchman over your soul, and that he's a leader, and that if there's something that's not straightened out, his job is to tell you to straighten it out. His job is to watch over the things that are problems and that could accumulate to a problem in the long run. His job is to he is anointed to be able to see that. Now you as a woman, because you're created different, you might not see that. Just like there's a lot of women, they don't see anything wrong with their ex coming by and hanging. They don't see anything wrong with them calling their ex and kicking it on the phone with them for hours. They don't see anything with them going somewhere where they know their ex is going to be and hanging out there, even in the church. It's not even good for you to be there at certain churches if your ex is going to be all around you, sitting next to you and stuff. That's a problem. But a woman sometimes doesn't see the problem in that. She just sees, oh, I'm in the house of the Lord. There's nothing wrong with this. But you're sitting right next to your ex, the man that you used to be with. You can't be up in his face no more. There got to be a distance between the two of y'all. So when she understands that his position is to lead her, and that there's certain ways that she will never be led without that man, because God is working through that man to lead her. Then she won't receive him. She'll receive him properly when she understands that. So what God will do then, because she's looking for someone to lead her, she's open to it. She understands that God will give me a man because he is there to watch over my soul. He is there to help protect me. He is there to tell me what not to do. He is there to tell me what to do. He is there to help lead me and correct me. He is there to bring me to the next level and to show me what I cannot see. He is anointed to see in my blind spots. So he is the ultimate authority in that house, and I'm to come into alignment with his vision and support that. And what I do should be in support of that. When she understands that that's her place and that's his place, and them two places and positions don't cross, to where now she's trying to lead him and tell him what to do, or tell him that she got a word from the Lord to tell him, do this, do that. No, that's not how that works. If anything, she would be giving him a word that confirms something that God already said, but God's not going to give the woman the word and have her lead and watch over the man. No, because that's not his order. It's the other way around. That will never change, no matter what society approves of and no matter what the common thing is in modern day time. Doesn't matter. The word doesn't change. Neither does God. He's the same today, forever, and forevermore. So it's going to be the way that it always has been with him, and that's not going to change. The man is the head. He's the leader. His position, his role is that. The woman is to submit to it. If that order gets scrambled and it's not accepted, or there's a disagreement between that order, then God didn't put it together, because his order cannot work in that. So it's all about order, you know. So the other thing, brothers, is if you're wondering if some woman was sent into your life by God or not, then the way that you can tell is, does she respect your position as the leader? If she doesn't, if she's giving you a problem with that, if there's certain things that you see wrong, certain people that you see that she needs to kind of cut it with, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? On the media, you know what I'm saying? People crushing on her pictures and everything. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem when it's a bunch of men leaving a bunch of comments on her photo and crushing with her and stuff. You know, that's a problem. You know, it don't matter if they're out of state or in state. Even worse if they're in state, because these are people that she can actually come in contact with, and you don't know what's going on in that inbox because you don't see them messages. Those are not public. So that's a problem, you know. So while she's posting all these pictures and putting all this sexy hot stuff up on Facebook, and all these men is flocking to her photo and saying all this flirtatious stuff, then that's going to cause an issue between you and your man. It's going to cause trust issues. That media will destroy you. So when it comes to you getting with that man, then that stuff got to be cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? You can disable comments. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? There's settings on there, privacy settings for that reason, where nobody can inbox you. Certain stuff like that, you know, you can set it up like that to where you can still use your Facebook, but it's not going to come in between your marriage or your relationship to where that man's sitting there questioning, how come every time you post something, within seconds, this man keep on jumping all over your photo? What's up? You know, he's going to wonder what that is. And you tell him it's nothing, he don't know that. You tell him that that's your cousin, he see y'all got different last names, he don't know that. You know, because there's a lot of people that call people cousins and family, and they're not blood related at all. Sometimes they be crushes, and yet they call them family. That's just a way to throw it off. So he don't know that. So there could be things going on in the back of his head, trust issues that's creating problems. So you got to learn how to clean that up, set up your privacies to where those things are not a problem. You know, and some men desire a woman that don't deal with the media at all. No Facebook, none of that stuff. Just, you know, just him or her, none of that. Now, 9 times out of 10, the attention is going to be different when it comes to a woman posting a photo as opposed to when a man posts a photo. A man posts a photo, he's good looking, whatever. 9 times out of 10, the woman is not going to come after him and try to get her Mac on. You know, she's not going to come after him. 9 times out of 10. I didn't say always. Sometimes they will, but most of the time they won't. They'll wait for you to approach them. They may compliment you and say you look nice or nice photo or whatever, you know, but they won't actually make an attempt to be with you. When it comes to the man, it's a different story. When a woman posts a picture, you know, little titties showing out right here, you know, and she posted that, and you can see where the breast is divided, you know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, men approach her. Hear this, brothers. They approach her. They're not just commenting on her photo. Oh, you look nice. No, they're thinking something, because that's how a man thinks. You know, when it comes to a woman, they think that way. And they think that the reason why she's posting so many photos with that showing is because she wants the attention. So that gives him more of a reason to make that attempt. In his mind, that's how they think. They're the ones that pursue. The man pursues more than the woman. So it's different when the woman posts a photo as opposed to the man posting a photo. Attention is different that a woman gets. A woman going to a grocery store and she's dressed in a skirt that's kind of a little bit see-through, you know what I'm saying, where you can see the booty sticking out, you can see a little panty line, you know what I'm saying, you can tell if it's a G-string or what string, you know what I'm saying, you can see the color of the panty sticking through the dress and that sort of thing. When a man is seeing her in the grocery store pushing her cart and her booty sticking out and that panty line and stuff is showing, 9 times out of 10, he approach her. Yeah. So she gets that kind of attention. That she gets approached. She'll get handed a number. That's different. Now, if the man is dressed decent and he goes shopping or whatever, you know, he could be dressed to impress, looking real good, dressed to impress, you know, nice suit on, everything. And he go there and do his shopping. A woman might see him and look, but she's not going to approach him. Most of the time she won't, because they're not created to pursue. You know, very rare that they do. So they wait to be pursued. So their attention is different. That's why the man is to watch over his woman. So wow, that was a mouthful right there. So brothers, if that woman is not allowing you to lead, if there's some funny business going on with her Facebook page between her and other men, these ain't her relatives, these are just random people, and they leaving all these crush comments and stuff on all her photos, and you tell her, to fix that, deal with that, delete that, delete that connection, because that's what it's about. When that's what it's about, then you already know that connection need to be deleted. Ain't no reason for you to connect with him for. What you connected with him for if you already know he's trying to get at you? What you connected with him for? These are standbys. When you got standbys, then you make your man feel like threatened because he feel like he's in competition. Like you putting yourself out there to be approached or to have men on standby so that if yours gives you any issues, whether it be a small disagreement to a large disagreement, whatever it is, he got to worry about what you're doing, because he already see that you holding on to these attachments, and these people are not just Facebook friends just to be friends for nothing. These are men that are trying to see how far they can go. So true story, man. There are people that's been destroyed over Facebook friends because of flirtatious comments on their photos and things like that, and they're not getting rid of those friends. They're not unfriending them. They're not they're not keeping the privacy set to a certain setting to where they're not able to do that. They're just leaving it open like they can't get enough of that attention. They want that, So that's a problem right there. You're not going to be happy. You might as well get to moving and find somebody that's conservative who don't want to be out in the public eye like that and everyone just flock to them, Someone that's going to stick with you, and keep it with you, What you want your woman's breast hanging out for the public to see. You don't want that, That's yours. That's your privacy. That's for you. So they shouldn't be seeing that business. So he has to understand her position, and she has to understand his position before God puts it together. Now, here's what the man has to understand. The reason why God would give him a wife is because she is to support the vision that he has. So she's the one that works behind the scenes to do all the things that helps to push the man into the direction that God is leading him. She supports that. If the Lord's calling him to go into a certain place, she helps prepare him to go into that certain place. She works behind the scene in order to support what the Lord has told the man. So she is the helper. She's there as a helper to help support the vision that God has given the man. Now, if the man doesn't have a vision, then she can't be there to support anything because there's nothing to support. But if he has a vision, he knows where he's going, then she is able to assist him with things behind the scene that involve him going there. So she's the helper to help him do. So he has to understand that that's her position. Now, if she's lazy, God didn't send her. Because if she's lazy, how can she support? How can she be a helper if she's lazy? He's not going to give you a lazy woman. He's going to give you someone that's willing to work, that's willing to help do some stuff. Now, when I say work, I'm not talking about full-time jobs. I'm talking about doing stuff for you. You know, she'll prepare food. She'll help get your clothes ready. She will do things that support the vision that God gave you, your ideas. She's a support. She's a cheerleader for you. She cheers you on. Not put you down, not talk her smack, not run her mouth, not try to talk you out of what you heard from God and try to tell you didn't hear that. That's not God. He didn't put that together. Okay, so understanding each other's position is very important. Again, the man's position is to lead. The woman has to understand that's his place. If she's not prepared to be led and open to be led, open to be corrected when she's wrong, open to let go of certain things that he may tell her. Sometimes you have to do that. You got to let go of certain things when you come into marriage. You can't roam with everybody no more. You got to stick with your new family becomes that husband and that wife. So it would be silly for a man and a woman to get married, buy a house, and then as soon as they buy that house, they got all their families coming by. That's crazy. Y'all haven't even had no time to build. And yet you got your family all over there, his family, her family, everybody over all the time, pulling your wife in one direction and the husband being pulled in another direction. And if you let them think they can do that, they're going to do that all the time. They got some event going on. Let me give you an example. I'm in California. Let's say I'm in California, right? Me, my wife, we're in California, right? We bought a house, right? Okay. Her family is in Georgia, right? Soon as we move in that house, her family in Georgia making plans with my wife. They want her to fly to Georgia, and they want to do stuff with her. Okay, well, I just moved into the house with my wife. I haven't even had no time with her, and yet her family already trying to get her to leave state without me and bring her over there with them. Now, if she jumped for all of their events and she does that, then the next time another event comes up, she's going to do it again and do it again. And they're going to keep on inviting her over and over again. Not just with her family, but also friends. Friends could do the same thing. Hey, girl, we getting ready to this. We getting ready. And then her friends come in, pulling your wife to do stuff with them when you haven't even had no time with her. So that's not healthy neither. That's going to destroy in the long run because you're not getting any private time with your own wife. The first thing to do is separate from the family. That's the first step, you know? And that needs to be respected. It doesn't need to be taken as an offense or a slap in the family's face. No, it just needs to be respected and understood that you got your wife now. She got her husband now. Y'all have to tend to each other. Y'all got a family of your own. And that needs to develop and that needs to build. And you can't have everybody pulling y'all in separate directions. That's crazy. You know? The first thing that God told Abraham when he was getting ready to lead him out is to separate from your kinfolks. First thing. Separate from your kinfolks. Then go to a place where I will show you, you know. So Abraham was told to separate from his kinfolks, and then Sarah went with him. So they had privacy with God. Got away from everybody. Now, when you all bundled around everybody and everybody want to hang and everybody want to go here, everybody want to do this, do that, and pull that wife away from her husband, pull that husband away from that wife, and y'all are not having one-on-one time together, you might as well just go ahead and get the divorce, because that's what's going to happen anyway. Y'all not going to have time together, and you're going to eventually lose interest for one another. Or somebody, some other lady's going to come around. You know how the devil work. Your wife keep getting pulled away, always out of town with her family. You sitting there by yourself. You know some young lady going to walk around looking good and flirtatious with you. You know how the devil work. You know how to send them right to you. Just what you like, your taste and everything, while your wife is gone. And you're going to be like, she's gone all the time. Her family always pulling her. They get more time with her than you. You're going to eventually fall into that trap of having that little side chick. It can happen. I don't care how deep you think you are. It can happen. You know, if you full of the anointing and you drive your car and you see a woman with a big booty and you look, it can happen. You got a manhood in you. That's there. Okay, so don't act like you just flawless and you ain't no man. You a man. So you need that attention with your wife, and she has to take care of that. Same thing with the man. If the man always running out of town, his wife sitting at home by herself. Every time his friends in there want to go somewhere, he jump and move, roam with his friends all the time, leave his wife there by herself, haven't spent no time with her, haven't had no romance, not doing nothing, haven't went nowhere, nothing, you know. After a while, man, she gonna get tired of that. Yeah, she gonna get tired of that. Evidence of that is when a woman's man keep ending up in jail. After a while, she finds someone else. Eventually. And even if she don't stay with that person, she at least get a little romance from that person and then go back to him later when he get out of jail. But while he's in jail, she be doing stuff because she ain't gonna wait forever, you know. People get horny. I'm being real. It said her desire should be for her husband. That desire, being horny. Yeah. So you're going to feel it. And you're going to want that. Need that husband to fulfill that. Need that wife to fulfill that. So it's not good that y'all be separated. But that y'all become one, stick together, and be able to keep everybody out your business and stop having a whole bunch of folks around. Stop. Have some privacy, you know, and it'll work just fine. And you start getting everybody around, then a lot of he say, she say stuff start coming up. Let's go here, let's go there. Your wife being invited by her friends to places where other men are going to be trying to talk to women, and then your wife happened to be in the midst. So now you having trust issues with her because her hoochie friend keep on trying to get her to come to these parties and stuff. She's destroying y'all's marriage. If you have any sense, you and your wife need to kick her out to the curb and cut that friend loose, because you know if you're serving the Lord now, y'all don't even need to be connected anyway. You know what you need that for? That's gonna bring you back into your past. You trying to be connected with those kind of people again? That's crazy. Same thing with the man. His buddies. I mean, he's a married man, right? So what sense does it make for him to exchange numbers, be in contact with his player friends from the past when he was roaming and pimping the women and playing stuff, you know, being a player? What's the sense of connecting with that now that you're a married man trying to live for God? The only thing that they have to offer you is what you used to do. Yo, remember such and such? Hey, I still got contact with her. Want me to call her up? You know, calling up some woman that all y'all banged or whatever. That's bringing you back into your past. Which you don't need those friends anymore, because those friends are going to bring you into your old lifestyle, your old way of living, and you're going to end up falling into the trap of doing the stuff that you used to do. So if you're a man of God, you're living for God, then your friends that you used to roam the streets with, used to pick up women with, used to have all these girls around showing their titties, all of that, you know what I'm saying? All they're going to do, because they're still like that, and you've changed, but they're still like that, all they're going to do is they're going to bring you back around them same women, and you're going to be tempted. And like I said, just because you're a man of God, that don't mean you can't be tempted. I don't care how deep you are. Okay, you could be T.D. Jakes. Be T.D. Jakes away from Sarita Jakes for a good long time, and let a bunch of naked women walk in the room and watch T.D. Jakes turn into T.D. Snakes. He's a man. Okay? It doesn't matter how anointed you are. You still got to stay off the devil's territory, or else he's going to patty cake you right into the trap. Play with you, give you what you want. He know what you used to like, and he know that your nature still likes that. For example, if you like light-skinned women from when you was running back in the street, the devil know you still like light-skinned women. Just because you in church don't mean that changed. You just want one that's sanctified. If you like dark-skinned women, the devil know you like chocolate women. Just because you in the church don't mean that's changed. You just want one that's sanctified. But he knows that you like something about the way that looks. It jiggles a certain way. It reflects on the light a certain way. There's something about it that you like. So he knows how to send that thing right back into your pathway and mess with you when you're away from your wife. That's why you can't be allowing folks to divide you, pulling that husband in one direction, pulling that wife in another direction. Her friends always want to hang with her. Your friends, his friends, always want to hang with him and invite him places. Like I said before, the more you do it, the more they think they can do it. So it becomes more common, more rapid. And as it begins to become more rapid, oh, wasn't that fun last weekend? They're already making plans with you for the next weekend. See? So you already booked before you can even make a plan with your own wife. She's already booked before she can even make a plan with her own husband. The other thing, buying gifts. Let me help you with that. Buying gifts. That's another dangerous one. When you're married, you got to be careful about who you buying gifts for. Yeah, you also got to be careful about who you're accepting gifts from. So let's say that your wife, let's say that your birthday was getting ready to come up. All right, let's say that you never had a gold chain with your first initial on that chain. Let's say that your wife had in mind that when your birthday comes, she wanted to get you something like that. But let's say before your birthday, one of your friends already bought you something like that. Now they just spoiled the idea. Because if your wife buys you the same thing, it's just, you already have that. So they already did that for you. So it narrows down her options and things to do for you. because you didn't let someone else outside the marriage do it for you when your wife wanted to do that. You know? Now, here's the other problem. Depending on who bought that for you, they may want something in return because they bought you something for your birthday. Now, when their birthday comes up, let's say in a couple months, they're going to expect you to get them a gift. And then it's going to keep going back and forth, and you're going to be playing the gift game. Now, if that's a woman, there's a problem there, because this woman then bought you a chain with your initial, with your first initial on it. You know, now her birthday came up, and now you're trying to do something for her to return the favor. Now you and this woman is buying each other gifts. That's going back and forth. You got a wife though, but that's going back and forth with this woman that's not your wife, which that could have been avoided if you just stopped that from the beginning and said, I don't accept gifts. You could have cut that right there, because if you don't cut it right there, then you start something. And then the more you start that, once you start that, then it's a whole can of worms you open up. It's a pathway full of drama that you then opened up because you initiated, or you allowed someone to initiate something that never should have been initiated from the beginning. And then you fed into it by returning that favor. So now they're motivated to find out what next they're going to do. And so they're planning other things. And it keeps going on and on, back and forth. Here's another thing. That is so serious that even if that woman bought your woman and you, as the man, a gift, that's a problem too. Even if he bought something, even if she bought something for her too, that's still a problem that she bought for you. Because now she'll buy her a gift just so that she can buy you a gift. Because the one who she was really trying to give the gift to was you. She just gave it to your wife too. That way she would be kind of blindsided to think that maybe it's not like that. But sometimes it is like that. Example. Okay. Let's say that there's this young couple. Okay. I see that this young couple is always getting into arguments. They're always fighting. They never get along. Let's say that I go pick up that young couple, just me and that young couple. I go pick that couple up, take them out to eat every Friday. Okay, I'm taking her husband out, but I'm taking his wife out too. After a while, that's going to build an attachment, because women are emotional. That's going to build an attachment to where that woman is going to keep looking forward to me picking them up. So now she's getting used to me taking her out. Even though I'm taking her husband out too, she's also getting used to me taking her out. And she's getting to see what it's like to sit down with me at the dinner table, look into my beautiful eyes, and I look into hers. It don't matter that her husband's right there. So I'm still communicating with her. I'm still making her laugh. She's having a good time. I'm giving them that good time, but she's experiencing it from me too. She starts getting attached. You know? So then I drop them off. Her husband don't never take her nowhere. And the only time she get to go somewhere is when I come and pick them up. After a while, she's going to want me. let's just tell it like it is. She gonna want to get rid of him and say, I like him. He's single. I'd rather be with him than you. He gives me a better time than you do, and you know. So just because something was done for the husband and the wife, that doesn't mean that it's okay, because sometimes a gift is given to both in order for the gift to be given to one. Let me give you another example. Cooking. All right. Let's say that there's this woman, she can cook real good. Way better than your wife. Let's say that she keep on bringing plates over, dropping them off with y'all. Okay, so this woman keep cooking up good stuff that your wife can't cook, or don't know how to cook. I shouldn't say can't. Anybody can learn. Doesn't know how to cook. That woman keep feeding that man. All right, I'm gonna tell you something. She might be bringing food by for both of y'all, but the devil's trick is to get that woman to feed that man. Now, after a while, once that man keeps eating that woman's cooking, don't matter that his wife is eating it too. That man, it does something to that man. That man starts saying, I like this. I wish my wife would do this. He starts thinking like that. Okay, so he starts getting attached to her food. He says to her, she asks him, she asks them, how did you like it? The wife says, it was good. Husband said, it was good. Now this woman blushing, you liked it? Okay, you're starting something right there. There's a problem. Because now that she knows you like her food, because you let her know that, now she's going to keep on doing it. You know? Oh, you like my casserole? Wait until you try my lasagna. Oh, and then you liked my lasagna. Oh, you got to try my gumbo. She going to keep on going down the list. Cooking all kind of stuff for you until she can eventually pull you away from your wife, you know? Because by her doing that, first of all, you get to see if she's single or not. You already know. You already know. You may not ask her, are you single? But you know she's single. If every time you see her, she don't have no man. She's always cooking. She's not cooking for no man, but she keep bringing the food by to you. Of course, you know she's by herself. She's single. Let's say that your wife and you have a disagreement or an argument or whatever, and you get tired of arguing with that woman. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you're going to be thinking, this one right here is getting on my nerves. What about that one? See, so then you're just going to kind of be standoffish because you already got plans in your head to move on with that one. The simple fact that you know she's available. See, and at the same time, she already gave you a little piece of what she can do by cooking for y'all. These are tricks. These are tactics. So there you have it. You gotta cut that stuff off. You know. Let me give you another one. Okay. I'm telling y'all, man. A lot of relationships do work, but they get destroyed behind other people, friends, and family. Watch this. Even in the church. As a matter of fact, I should say especially in the church. Because they're accepted more. Oh, they're just Christians. Yeah, but that woman don't need to be cooking for your man. Oh, but he's the bishop. Yeah, but he shouldn't be in no room with your woman and the door's closed. See? Let me give you one for the woman, the women. Okay. Y'all been taking pictures with your cell phone, right? Comes out okay. Some of these cell phones have real great quality, some of them don't. Basic, right? Let's say that she wants to take a professional picture. Let's say that there happens to be this man that she ends up running into who gives her his card. This happens to be an independent photographer. All right? So now she's looking at him to take her photos. Okay. Watch this. She wants some pictures with y'all. Okay, professional pictures with y'all, husband and wife together. But she also wants some pictures of just herself. Okay, so now, when she gets ready to take pictures of just herself, she's connecting with this man who's an independent photographer. So that means that he's working solo. That means call me up, I'll come by. Or you come by. Or me and you go somewhere and we take these pictures. Do you know a place where you would like to take a picture? I'll bring my equipment, let's go. Now, him and her meet up together. Either he comes by her house alone, or she goes to his house alone, or they meet together and they go somewhere alone. Now that man is alone with your wife. Okay, let's have you turn this way. Okay, put your leg up. Open your leg. Pull that down a little bit. Yeah, right there. Okay, so now he's got all the, you think he don't got no copies of this for himself? Now he got all these photos of your woman. See? Because you don't let the connection come in through the back door. That never was supposed to happen. See? So, this will save you a lot of trouble. Listen to me. If you're married, keep distance from your family and friends. I didn't say disconnect. I said keep distance so that you and your wife can have privacy. Okay? That's going to help you a lot. Don't allow your friends to pull y'all in separate directions by making plans with y'all. Don't give into the plans. Tell them, y'all go ahead and have a good time. I'm going to be with my wife. She need to tell her friends, y'all go ahead and have a good time. I'm going to be with my husband. Here's what that does. That draws the line. It shows that you can't pull me away. So now, next time something comes up, they don't try to keep doing that because they already know what you're going to say. They know that you're going to tell them no. That you're not going to roam like that. So it draws the line. It doesn't allow anything to be initiated so that then once it's initiated, then they make that a common thing and a consistent habit of doing that, and then create a problem with you and your husband, or that husband and his wife. So that's one way to nip that in the bud. The other thing, stop accepting gifts from other people. Don't do that. Don't do that. When you're married, don't be doing that, because when you do that, then they expect a gift in return. And then if it keeps going back and forth, it causes problems. Because then it's like, my wife just bought her or bought him a gift, and she didn't buy me nothing. See? Because it's going back and forth. He did it for her, now she's doing it for him. He did it for her, she's doing it for him. Same thing with work. Gotta be careful with doing that at work too, with your coworkers. I'll buy us lunch this time. You buy us lunch next time. You keep doing that, after a while, your man's going to come in there, he's going to say, what the heck you buying him lunch for? When was this started? You know? Same thing with the woman. She going to come in to meet you at work. Your husband bought us lunch. Or bought me lunch, better yet. Now, I can understand if it's like a whole co-worker thing, like the whole group. That's different. Everybody, it's pizza for everybody. Right? The whole group, you're just doing something special for the whole group. But those individual favors is the problem. If you're doing it for just her specifically, that's a problem. Because now you create an attachment to where she's going to do it for you next time. And then it's one-on-one, back and forth. That's a problem. Never do that. Hear me. Never do that. No, you buy your own food. And you let her buy her own food. You don't buy her food. You don't let her buy your food. You take care of your own lunch. Let her take care of her own lunch. The only time you receive lunch from another is if it's given to the entire staff. Then that's different. That's everybody. So it's not personal toward anyone. It's the whole group. That's different. Because you don't have to give that back. That's from the company to y'all. All of y'all. But when it's from one individual to another individual, then you got a problem. So that should never happen. And then the other thing we went over was, for y'all who just tuning in, we went over, if God's going to send you a wife, if he's going to send that man a wife, then he has to understand his role to lead her, what it consists of, and he has to understand her role to be led and to be of a support to that leading. In other words, he has to have a vision where he's going, what he's going to be doing in life, and he has to know what the woman's responsibility is in according to helping him do that, because she's a help to help him do that. That's how he'll be able to recognize if she was sent or not, because she would be a help to help him do that if she was sent. Otherwise, she wasn't sent by God. It was put together by dating sites, by man, by some friend. I know another friend who's single. I can call him up. It was put together by man, but not by God if the purpose of God is not in place. The other thing, we talked about the woman believing God for a husband. If God will send you a husband, then the first thing you have to understand is what his position is and why he's there. The second thing, you have to be open for that. You have to be available to let him lead. If you're not open to let him lead, if you're not open to receive information from God through him, and if you're not ready to make sure that all final decisions go through that man, If you're not willing to do that, God's not going to send you that man, because his purpose, God's purpose in that marriage, is not able to be carried out, for the simple fact that there's a stubborn heart somewhere, stubbornness in the heart. I accept this, but I don't accept that. I'll do that, but I won't do that. And you're arguing the word rather than receiving. That's his place. That's his position. That's what he does. I'm with it. You know, same thing with the woman. That's her place. That's her position. That's what she does. I'm open to it. I'm with it. Are you open to each other's positions in God? If not, God's not sending y'all together. He's not putting that together. He don't have nothing to do with it unless his will can be carried out. So there you have it, y'all. Hope that helps. That was some very deep wisdom. Swallow that. Peace.